Now, when you were in the island of amongst the corn, did you ever experience any violence or any threatening anything?
Going through school, of course, being called fag,
Mm-hmm.
even though, and, just the ridicule.
Right.
And just being we're not going to associate with you,
Right.
being publicly, socially shunned.
Because you were always, I think you were a couple of classes ahead of me.
Yeah.
What was your graduation year?
I actually graduated in 95. I was supposed to have graduated in 94. But I played second year senior.
You and I were in the same fucking class then.
Yeah.
Huh?
But remember, we went to different schools.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't graduate from there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's holy crap.
Right. Right. Sometimes sometimes these talks are kind of good to remember. Oh,
Yeah.
That's
it's like, oh yeah. Okay, so so yeah, little small towns, they didn't really tend to be very accepting, and I don't know, from what I understand is like it's still kind of the same.
Yeah.
Not shit has really changed. A lot of these fucking small ass towns or villages or whatever, they are really stuck with like a 1950s. Yeah,
they're stuck with their traditions. It's always been this way. It's how it's always going to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got away from the small towns.
I don't blame you. So you would say that you first identified or fully, truly, understood who you were, like kind of like your mid-teenage years, later. Okay.
Later teenage years, early 20s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when you kind of came out to your parents?
Well.
Or when you think they expect? How old were you when you think they expected it, versus how old you were when you were finally like, yeah, okay, you got me.
Well, it's it was about a year after my father had died. So it was.
Now, do you regret never coming out to your father?
I do.
You really do?
Yeah, I regret just to have that open, honest.
Do you think he would have accepted it?
I think it depends on how it would have been presented.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have realized, if I didn't go, oh, throw on the purse, throw on the dress, and just exaggerate, if I maintained who I was.
Right.
But if I would have totally changed who I was to fit the quote-unquote gay stereotype, he would have had an issue with it.
Right. Well, I mean, I can imagine how it could have been, difficult, because, I mean, technically that'd be like, well, that's two sons now.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, I knew his brother, too, and yeah.
Well, see, my other brother who came out, when he did the, I'm queer, I'm here, you must accept me.
Yeah.
Instead of...
Poofta was a little...
Instead of helping my parents to understand, he was the same child that they raised and loved for who he was.
Right.
He did everything he could to throw his sexuality in their face.
Right.
And that didn't go over well. So seeing that, I'm like, I'm not going to discuss this.
Right.
So I...
Yeah, Poofta always had a kind of a fuck you mentality.
Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah.
He really did. He always kind of had a fuck you mentality. He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So, like, how old were you when your mother, when you think your mom became aware?
Ooh, I was 35 when I finally said, yeah, I'm seeing this guy. He's staying with me. And, when you come over for when you come home for Christmas, you're going to see him, so I should tell you.
So did she come over for Christmas?
Yeah.
How'd it work out?
She's like, when I had the conversation, she's like, yeah, we knew. You were talking about it, we weren't talking about it.
Right,
we're leaving it alone.
Yeah, like I said, man, I mean, I remember your mom and stuff, and I don't know, I think your mom kind of always was like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what was said was before I...
Like, I will say this, like, whenever like any of us guys would come over to like just just hang out, chill, because we were all gamers,
Yeah.
so fucking play D&D and all that other shit. But yeah, she'd always give us the funky eyebrow, be like, yeah, he's in there. Leave the door open. You know? We'd be like, alright.
Yeah, I think she was pretty much treating all my guys like she treated all the girls.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
potential for, you know.
Which was fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, but I mean...